师傅，掌门走了。
掌门在你的肋下的这个位置，这个位置的话，你可以用手指、剑指，也可以用，还可以用肘击，还可以砍，还可以用膝盖顶掌门，有很多方法可以。
哦，我明白，谢谢。The Zhang Men point lies on the side of the body. You have your ribs that come down from the centre here and go to the spine. You also have two additional ribs that come round that don't attach. The Zhang Men point lies on the tip of the second of those ribs. As Master Yu explained, you can strike with a fist. You can strike with finger strikes. Again, if you've trained the Iron Fist from my previous DVD sets and you've trained it well, you'll be able to strike with those. It can be struck with a hammer fist. Depending on the range, it can be struck with an elbow. If the person's body is in the correct position and you've deflected them, you can strike with a knee. But again, striking to the point there, the intention with that, you've got two options. One is to strike straight in toward the internal organs. The second option is to strike back toward the spine and actually snap the floating rib off at the spine. So the Zhang Men point on the side of the body. Very effective, very painful, and be careful when you use it. The next technique we're going to do is striking a point called Zhang Men. Zhang Men lies on the side of the body. Master Yu identified the point for us. Where you've got the ribs and the sternum coming down, you've also got two additional floating ribs that come off that aren't connected to the sternum. Very useful technique, very devastating. Behind this point are the kidneys. As you strike into this point here, whether it's a fist or a palm strike, and we'll do the application in a second, but as you strike into these points, there's the potential of breaking the floating rib off. There's the potential of fracturing the rib. There's the potential of the rib breaking off and puncturing the kidney. The red cinnabar palm, if Glenn was throwing the punch, stepping off to the side, always offset yourself away from the attack. Palm strike coming in, okay? So here I'm hitting to the side and in, back toward the body. You will by default, if you're using a palm strike, going to hit some of the other ribs, but you're aiming for the floating rib, okay? So the punch comes in here and it crushes, hits and hits through the target. If you want to be more specific, then you can hit with a finer weapon, a finer implement, such as the Phoenix Eye Fist, a single knuckle, or a fist driving up this way. Could even be an elbow here, slam in. The elbow would probably be the most devastating just because it penetrates deep into the target. So if I show you from the opposite side, this is the first one, the palm strike coming in, hitting in and driving into the target. But for me, the elbow works quite nice. More so if you've got somebody of a similar height or slightly taller, okay? Striking in and through. Because as you're hitting, you get that expulsion of air from the lungs. It could even be that we got to here, drag down, and I use my knee to strike. So many, many applications. So again, showing you the knee strike, punch comes in, here, grab, knee strike into the target. And you're looking at this strike here, driving in to the spine. So the knee's going to hit the target, go through to the spine, taking the point out here. The actual point itself that you're going for is here. However, the secondary effect is it takes the spine out here. The floating rib, because it's not connected to the sternum, will press in and drive in toward the kidney. Many ways of using it, okay? It could be that if I'm in this sort of situation, again a grapple situation, if I show you from this side, I could hit, when we're talking about that iron bone hand. Just come this way. We talk about the iron bone hand at the base knuckle using the crane's wing. It could be I could do single, I could do double, but I'm just going to use one to demonstrate. So it comes in and up into the kidney area, striking in. Now here I'm bouncing off, but in reality I'd be going right through it. You could, if they're grabbing it with both, get it in tight, into here, okay? And it softens up nicely, ready to come through for whatever you want to do to them. All that was, just so you can see at the other side, is the iron bone hand on both sides. You could use the thumb knuckle coming into here. Very painful again. Yeah? Okay, you probably can't see it on camera, but I can hear what Glenn's exhaling as we hit. All right? So many ways you can use the point striking in. You could even, as Master Yu described, strike in and up, so it can be a finger strike into here, comes up into the points if your fingers are strong enough, or even the sword fingers. Yeah, striking in. Drive in, twist. I'd be more inclined personally to use it, like I say, if it's a punch, or if you're driving through and striking into here, so they could throw the punch in, come in, here, yeah, into here and strike into the target. Then from here it might come up, rechamber and go to hit to multiple points. Lots of ways of using the technique. So the next point on the floating rib, remember, comes round, tip of the rib, driving in and across to the spine. Is this side? Again, just be careful with this one. Any excessive impact on this has got potential to damage the kidney behind the point itself. Okay, so take great care.